Well, guys, I am now pretty darn convinced that I cracked the code as to why INFJs and INTJs have such selective memories. Prodigious memory when it comes to, again, a selected number of things. Very forgetful when it comes to other things, to the extent that, approached superficially, an anti-dominance might come across as if they had a pretty poor memory. Now, the memory is not poor, it's very selective. The question is why? We know that what greatly facilitates memorization is how much emotional value charge you ascribe to a particular event, right? So you can think about the representations of different events as kind of strings that you arrange together. Now, depending on whether you're a strong NI user or a strong NE user or SI user, you're going to just arrange these things and these strings differently. And the anti-dominant simply has to arrange them as a narrative sequence. Right? It has to be a story. It has to be something that makes sense holistically as an unfolding story. That's what I call the sort of narrative as the core fantasy pH, of the anti-dominant mind. It's not so much a fantasy as the structure of the fantasy is organized as a narrative, and it guides the anti-dominant's life, helps them converge towards a particular end, but it also means that whatever does not really fit into the narrative, the expression of the holism of NI, is not going to be retained. Now, some things are not straight away available as items of the narrative, but they can be narrativized, assuming, a certain cognitive effort on the part of the anti-dominant. And so the anti-dominant, of course, narrativizes things that are not objectively easy to narrate all the time, but there are things that are just harder to narrativize. We have only a limited amount of cognitive energy. We have to prioritize what we narrativize and what we don't narrativize, what is harder to narrativize. What is less immediately relevant to narrativization is just not going to be narrativized. And if it's not inscribed, there is an inscription that takes place. If the inscription takes too much stamina and it's not worth it, the inscription does not happen and the representation is just not memorized. And if the representation is not written, it's not memorized, you can say goodbye to it. No matter how many times you will be confronted with it, as long as you don't have the stamina to actually inscribe it within your NI narrative, it just won't stick. It's not about you having a bad memory. It's not even about you being absent-minded. From the outside, it might come across as if you're absent-minded. But actually, what's really going on is that NI chooses whether it's worth inscribing or not. And the test of whether it's worth inscribing or not is how much is the distance that the representation has to go in order to be narrativized into the global NI narrative. And number two, is it worth it? Is it worth spending that effort for a piece of content, for a thought string that may or may not add much meaning, talking about meaning here, to the overall narrative? And that's encapsulated for you the essence of the selective memory of NI dominance. Okay, give me a like if you enjoyed this video, guys. Don't forget that you can support me on Patreon. Guys, I could not do it without you. Honestly, I need you more than ever. So please consider supporting me on Patreon. The link is below to my page. You can, for a small amount every month or once a year, get access to our Discord server. Come join us, interact with us there, as well as bonus videos every 2-3 weeks on the topic of your choice called the Deep Dives. You can also get, and you should also get, the Ecstatic Soul, my first book on the INFJ, the INFJ mind in particular. If you haven't yet, you should get this book now as well. The link is below, and the first link below is to my latest book on the INFJ, The Infinite Soul on INFJ Life in the Modern World, how to find purpose, meaning, and value as an INFJ concretely in the world today. First link below. See you soon, guys. Bye-bye.